I think the biggest surprise to come from yesterday's iPad announcement was its name. So many people were spreading rumors that it was going to be called iPad HD or iPad 3. Made sense, right? You know, we had iPad, iPad 2. What would be next? Well, let's take a step back. I wrote an article on LockerGnome.com. Why is it the new iPad, not iPad 3 or iPad HD? And the reason why is most people don't think of products by their handle, their label, right? They may be shopping for something, but once they've picked it up, they don't really refer to it as its model number. For example, if you have, let's say, purchased an iPad 2, do you still call it iPad 2? Or do you call it your iPad? Yeah, it's a good question. You probably refer to it as iPad, or your iPad, or the iPad. So, if you think about it, it only makes sense that Apple would drop version numbers and, let's say, model numbers, or versions from the product's name. You don't walk around buying, at least from Apple's universe, MacBook 7, or an iMac 8, or an Apple TV 3. You buy Apple TV, an iMac, or you buy a MacBook. It stands to reason that they're getting rid of the versions on iPad. I mean, in terms of labeling. Most people are interested in a good experience. They want to make sure they're getting something that's decent. So yesterday, my dad, I think this was before the broadcast, the announcement, Dad pointed at a sheet of paper, like a circular, one of the advertisements that would come with a newspaper, and he says, I'm going to get this PC. Now, if I asked him, what's the model number of that PC, I would be shocked if he could remember it. He was interested in what that PC could give to him, provide, right? He doesn't care about a model number, he just knows it's a PC. And more importantly, even after he buys the PC and knows the model number that he wants, once he gets it home, do you think he's going to remember it after he's been using it for some time? No, it just melts away. It's the PC. He may know the manufacturer, he may know the operating system, he may know the software on there, but in terms of a model number, it's not very important. Doesn't mean that it's not important to know which generation you might be picking up. So, for instance, if you knew there were 3 iPads available to buy, you may want the 3rd generation iPad. But is it more important to note the generation or the features that any one particular iPad might provide? It just makes sense. Someone's going to walk into a store and ask for an iPad. Which iPad do you want? No, they just want an iPad. I don't know, I just want the iPad. I want the iPad. And they're always going to get the newest iPad. So the new iPad is just iPad. It's not new iPad, it's iPad. And the next new iPad will be the new iPad. It also will be called iPad. Apple is weaning you off of version numbers or model numbers in product names. And certainly Apple's not the only company to have done something like this. I think they are setting a precedent and reversing what they had started to do, at least with the iPad series of products. Of course, we had iPad, iPad 2, and now we have iPad again, or the new iPad. It's just iPad, and that's what people call it. You walk into a store, you just want the newest thing, right? This shouldn't come to a shock to anybody. And I've outlined, this reasoning and given you, practical, tangible examples on why this makes sense. It's far less confusing for the average consumer to get rid of model numbers and versions. People just want to know they're getting a good experience. So take a look at the article. Let me know what you think. I'm curious to know what you guys did think about Apple making this decision. I think, by and large, your initial reactions were much like mine, like, huh? Then you think about it. Then it starts to make more sense. And I think Apple is certainly on the right track. I mean, I don't think this is going to hurt their sales any, that's for sure.